Now, as I told you, the SI units or the standards used by scientific community is based on the metric system. And in metric system, we just use prefixes. Tera, giga, mega, kilo, hecto, deka, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano, pico. Marami pa yan, pero hindi ko na sinulat yung iba. So how does metric system work? Okay? Sa metric system, ang tatandaan natin ang base unit. A base unit is a unit without a prefix. Example, si meter. Meter, wala siyang prefix. So that means meter can be a base unit. So that is why when we add prefix, we have kilometer, we have centimeter, we have millimeter. Another example of a base unit, grams. Grams is a base unit. Bakit? Because wala siyang prefix. So that is why when we add a prefix to gram, meron tayong kilogram, meron tayong milligram. Or another example of a base unit na pinaka-familiar sa inyo, bytes. Bytes is a base unit, bytes. Yang sa memory card, bytes. That is why when we add prefix sa base unit na byte, we have kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes. Sa fundamental quantities, ano dito ang mga base units? Si meter, si kilogram hindi siya base kasi mayroong prefix na kilo. Seconds, Kelvin, mole, ampere, candela is also. Again, as long as there are no prefixes. So how does it work? Metric system works by the movement of decimal places. Again, so dito, may nakita ka na X mark. Okay, may nakita ka na X mark. And that is very important. I-take note lang yung X mark. What does that mean? All prefixes inside the X mark, the movement of our decimal point is just by 1. Okay? By 1 lang yan. So, from base unit, 1, 2, 3. So, by 1. Again, basta inside the X mark, the movement is by 1. Or we could move to the right. 1, 2, 3. Outside or beyond the X mark, the movement is by 3. 3, 6, 9. Same pa rin dito. 3, 6, 9. So for example, we have 5.1 terabytes. So tera yan, tera. Asan ba si tera dito? Tera, yan, tera. Okay, so let's mark this point. So tera, nandito si tera. Yan. Okay, so let's mark this point. Nandito si tera. Now what if we are going to convert tera to giga? Convert natin si tera to giga. Okay? Again, this is beyond the X mark. Beyond the X mark. So that means how many decimal places are we going to move? Very good. We need 3 decimal places. Okay? From tera to giga, that's 3 movements to the right. To the right. Kasi papunta ka sa right. So just move 3 decimal places starting from the decimal point. 1, 2, 3. And then add 0, 0, 0. Diba? So that is just the same as 5,100 gigabytes. What if we are going to convert from giga to mega? Giga to mega. How many movements of our decimal place? So we just move 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Lagyan mo ng 0. Lagyan mo ng 0. Lagyan mo ng 0. Okay? Sir, is it okay, sir, na hindi na ako mag-move ng ganyan-ganyan? Lagyan ko na lang ng 3 0? Yes. You could just write 3 0. So that is just the same as 5 100 megabytes. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now, what if we are going to convert from mega to kilo? We are going to convert from mega to kilo. How many movements of our decimal place? 3, because that is beyond the X mark. So how many zeros are we going to add? 3. Okay, so we just add 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. Tapos, di ba? Napakadali lang. Pwede drop yung piyungan sa S7. Tama itong ingon nila nga. How kayong S7? Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, now what if we are going to convert this one from kilo to hecto, from kilo to hecto? How many movements of our decimal place? We need 3 or 1? We need 1. Bakit 1, sir? Because that is now inside the X mark. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So how many zeros are we going to add? We need to add 1 0. Oh, see? Napakadali. Diba? That is why it is used internationally because it is very, very convenient and very easy. How about from hecto to deca? Hecto to deca. How many movements of our decimal place? 1. So, dagdag ka lang ng isang 0. Okay? How about from deca to base? Deca to base. We need to add another 1. Okay? To add another 1. That means, yan. Diba? Madali lang, no? It is just a movement of decimal place. Dadagdag ka lang ng zeros. Let's try another example. What if we have 24 micrograms? Micro is, nandito si micro. Yan, micro. Yan o, micro. So that means we need to mark this point. Kasi dyan tayo magsisimula. What if we are going to convert micro to milli? Convert natin from micro to milli. How many movements of our decimal place? 3. Bakit? Because that is beyond the X mark. 3 movements to the left. Kasi papunta siya sa left. So that means we just move. 1, 2, 3. And then just add 0. Decimal point. That's it. Diba? So yun ba kayo, no? So that's how we convert units in metric system. Now, what if we are going to convert milli to centi? How many movements of our decimal place? 3 or 1? 1. Okay? Because that is inside the X mark. So that means we just move 1 time. 1. Decimal point. And then 0. Yun. Tapos. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Another one. Centi to deci. How many movements? 1. So 1. So 1. Yan. Okay? That's it. Meron tayong 2.5 meters. So, si meters, base unit yan. Why? Because it does not have any prefix. Wala siyang prefix. What if we are going to convert this 2.5 meters into deca meter? So, deca. How many movements of our decimal place? We need 1 movement to the left. So, just move 1 time from the decimal point. So, 1. Decimal point. Good. Tapos. 0.25. Okay? How about from deca to hecto? Deca to hecto. Deca to hecto. Still the same. 1 movement because that is inside the X mark. So, 1 movement. Yan. O, diba? Very easy. Or very convenient. How about from hecto to kilo? How about from hecto to kilo? So that means move ka lang ng 1 time, 1 movement. Okay? So ganun lang. Diba? Napakadali. How about from kilo to mega? How many movements this time? The X mark. So move ka 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So 0, 0. And then huwag kalilimutan ang decimal point. Very good. What if we are going to convert this to smaller units? For example, we have this one. Yan. So to deci. Yan. So 25 decimeter. Okay? What if we are going to convert from deci to centi? So move ka lang. 1 time. 250. Okay? So sir, okay lang hindi na ako mag-move, magdagdag na lang ako ng isang 0? Yes, walang problema. What if we are going to move from centi to milli? So from centi to milli, how many zeros? Isa lang. 2,500. I hope that makes sense. What if from milli to micro? How many movements? This time we need to move 3 times. Bakit? Because that is beyond the X mark or outside the X mark. So how many zeros ang kailangan natin idadagdag? So 3 zeros. So 1, 2, 3. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Now, if you notice, kanina ang sabi nila always 0.00000000000 murag nagsyatong, tama? Now, because there are times now we are dealing with very small numbers, and there are also times when we are dealing with very large numbers. Now, if we are dealing with that kind of numbers, that is the time when we use scientific notation. Take note, sa scientific notation, meron kang makikitang exponents, and you are going to take note if it is positive or negative. So, for example, if the exponent is positive, anong ibig sabihin ng positive na exponent? That means the number is large. Now, what if the exponent is negative? The exponent is negative if ever the number is very small. For example, 1,391,000,000 kilometers. This number is very large. So expect that the exponent must be positive. Okay? Kasi mag-move tayo to the left. This is the decimal point. And same pa din, movement of decimal point. We are going to move the decimal point from here to here. Okay? From here to here. To make it standard. Kasi dapat, sa left side ng decimal point, you only have one number sa left side. That is the standard. Standard yan ha, pero hindi necessary always ganon. Yun lang yung standard. In standard form. So for example, it will become 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So hanggang dito, so 9. The question is it positive or negative? It is positive because it is a very big number and you move that to the left. So magiging positive yan. So 1.391 times 10 to the power of positive 9. So ganyan lang. Yan lang ang format. So itong naiwan, yung naiwan na numbers, ito, and then times 10, and then kung ilang beses ka nag-move, that's the exponent. So ganun lang ang scientific notation. Now let's have another one. What if this is the case? 0.0000000000000000000000911 kilograms. For example, that's the case. So this is a very small number, so expect that the exponent later will be negative, right? So it should be negative because this is a very small number. So that means we are going to move our decimal point from this point until here. So bakit hanggang dyan? So that sa left side ng decimal point, you only have one number. Okay? So hindi pwede dito kasi sa left side niya magiging dalawa. That's standard. Standard kasi tayo ngayon. So dito tayo hanggang dito. That is the standard. So move ka lang. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. This is 18. 21, 24, 27, 30, 31. Okay, so hanggang dyan, 31. So it is 9.11 times 10 to the power of negative 31. Negative because you move that to the right, or that number is very small. So that is the mass of an electron. So for example, you are asked, tinanong kita, what is the mass of an electron? Alangan, ingon, the mass of an electron is 0.0000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000016 So instead of saying that, you say the mass of an electron is 9.11 times 10 to the power of negative 31 kilograms. Diba? Bright, maning scientific notation. So that's it. That's how we're going to report very large or very small numbers. Okay? From scientific notation to decimal number. Remember, a positive exponent, anong ibig sabihin ng positive exponent? It means big number. Okay? And ang negative exponent, it means smaller number. So, titingnan natin ngayon. So, if that is positive, you move that to the right, kabaliktaran kanina. If that is negative, you move that to the left. For example, ito. Since the exponent is positive, the exponent is positive, that means expected that the number is very large. Tama? So kung number is very large, logically, dapat mag-move ka to the right. That is why to the right. Mag-move ka to the right to make it larger. Kasi kapag mag-move ka to the left, it will make the number smaller. Okay? So that's the logic. So how many movements? 23 movements of our decimal point. So from this one, you move 23 places to the right kasi positive siya. So ang ginagawa natin pag elementary, ganito ang ginagawa pag elementary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hangtod 23. Di ba? That is an elementary way of converting. But since high school naman ta, or senior high school naman ta, pang college naman ta hapit, we will not do it the elementary way. So ang gagawin natin, addition of zeros na lang. Kagaya nung ginawa, sino yung tinanong kanina nga, sinabi lang niya na zero. So ganito lang ang gagawin natin. Since this is positive, that means the movement is to the right. Okay? So tingin ka dito sa decimal point mo. You move this decimal point to the right. How many times? 23 times. Sa right ng decimal point mo, meron ka ng tatlo. Okay? Meron ka ng tatlo. So 23 man ang kailangan mo, tapos kasali na dyan yung tatlo. So 23 minus 3, 20. So that means, dadagdag ka na lang ng 20 zeros. So 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So dadagdag ka na lang ng 20 zeros. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So 20 zeros. So ganun lang ang gagawin. Dagdag ka lang ng 0. Okay, now what if negative, sir? For example, yan, negative. Again, if it is negative exponent, that means the number is very small. Okay, so that means you move that to the left. Kasi negative yan, small. In elementary, ang ginagawa natin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kagaya kanina, yan ang ginagawa natin. But that is an elementary way. Hindi natin yan gagawin ngayon. We just add zeros. So for example, this is 8, negative 8. That means we need to move the decimal point to the left. Ito yung decimal point mo. Ilang number ang nasa left? Isa. Tama? Isang number. So 8 minus 1, 7. So ilang zeros idadagdag mo? 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At huwag mong kakalimutan yung decimal point. Yan, decimal point. So that will become like this. So 3, 6, 7 after sa decimal point. We have 5.29 times 10 to the power of negative 11. So, sir, saan tayo mag-move? Left or right?
Left po, sir.
Very good. Ilang zeros idadagdag mo?
10 po, sir.
Bakit 10?
Kasi yung may isa ka number na po, sir, sa left side, sir.
Very good.
Yung 5.
So, very good. Thank you. So, dadagdagan na lang ng 10. So, 3, 6, 9, 10. And then, decimal point. Okay? Hindi ito kasali, ha? Hindi yan kasali. Okay? I hope it is now clear. Di ba? Napakadali. So, let us try to combine metric system and scientific notation.